Okay, so hopefully you guys can hear me. This is my first um show besides you guys. Well, not my first show. Like I've done a live show before, but this is my first like live hangout. So I'm exercising some things here and just trying to figure some things out. And tomorrow is gonna be the official set. But I definitely want to thank you all for tuning in with me. Give me just a moment here, and I am going to get started. I told y'all I don't know how to do everything, but okay. Um, all right. Well, can someone type to me in chat and please let me know if you can hear me because I'm not sure. I was advised to use headphones with this, so I'm assuming that it's doing its job. Uh, okay. All right. So hopefully you guys can hear me and hopefully I'm not wasting my time with this. But in any case, like I said, this is my test run, so you guys are gonna get some of the information first that we're gonna talk about tomorrow a little bit more in depth. But hopefully you guys can hear me fine on this. So first of all, I would like to welcome you all. Of course, welcome, welcome, welcome. Minds up, and thank you all so much for tuning in to Takiyah Diamond's Minds Up sessions. And this session is the 7 keys to set your life free. I know each and every one of us get to a point where we just feel like we in bondage, and it's just like, what do we do to get it right? Trust me, I understand. I didn't always have it all together. And even sometimes now, I'm still working on getting it even more together. But that's okay. What it's about is just doing the best that you can with what you have, what you know, and just taking that risk and just going. I mean, what do you have to lose besides the life that you currently live? You know? So, for those of you who don't know me, I want to let you know my name is Takiyah Diamond. I am the founder of a powerful, positive, and purposeful foundation called Minds Up. And the mission for Minds Up is changing lives by empowering minds. And that is my objective, is to really just be on this mission to really help people understand who they are, to help people keep their minds up and learn how to live a powerful and purposeful, positive lifestyle in the midst of all the adversity that we're experiencing in the world today. And one of the things or biggest challenges that we have to deal with is just kind of like seeing all of these negative things that are taking place going on our planet right now, but still being a positive, being and being a positive light and inspiration in the midst of that and trying to bring other people into that level and that vibration of high energy. So that is what I do. Now, me being an author, I'm an author, I am a life coach, and I am also a speaker. Okay. And with all of those things being included, I have basically become an expert. Yay! So I'm a life transformation expert. And my expertise really is in regards to rewiring the brain, connecting the dots, and getting those circuits in the brain to begin to pop in another way, or to pop in a way to where you can be productive, you can be positive, and you can live your life on purpose as opposed to by default, which is the way that most people live today, by default, to no fault of your own to a certain extent, which we will review. But in any case, the objective is to really just learn how to bypass all of that. You have a mind, and once you learn how to utilize the mind that you have and how to target those things that try to keep your mind trapped and be more in control of those things. And the easiest way to be more in control of those things is to just be in your oneness, to just be in the moment, to live in the present moment, to be in the now. And just understanding that we really have no control over a lot of the things that's happening in the world, but we do have control over how we respond to the things that are happening in the world. So staying at peace and staying at that oneness with ourselves is always a positive thing. It's always a minds up thing, to do. To just, stay on your vibe. So I have my little cheat sheet here today because this one, like I said, this is my little test one. And so I am going to kind of like look just to make sure that I'm on point with some of the things that I'm going to talk to you guys about or whatever it may be. But um, in any case, with what I do as far as being a life coach and being a speaker and an author, my objective is to help people expand their levels of consciousness. Now, when I say consciousness, some people might say, well, what is consciousness? They heard the word before, but they really don't know what consciousness is. And what consciousness is actually awareness, just being in a state of awareness and just being aware of it being you who's speaking, hearing yourself, seeing what's going on around you, but as an observer, just kind of watching from the outside, and seeing what's going on around you and being able to actually be in creation mode in the midst of your beingness, being in consciousness. So everything is consciousness, everything is energy, and we will review all of that as well tomorrow. Just kind of go deeper. So, our objective together would be for me to help you basically break the mental chains that have kept you stuck for so long. Um, One of the biggest challenges is learning how to let go of those things that keep you stuck. It could be a bit challenging because we're so used to doing things in a negative aspect by default. And so because we're so used to doing things, and by default, these things, they just kind of automatically happen, I guess that would be the best way to put it. They automatically happen, So my job really is to help you break those limiting beliefs, to break free of the lies that not only you have been told, but more importantly, the lies that you continuously tell yourself about your life. Those things about your financial status, as far as you believing like that money is the root of all evil, or believing that if you weren't brought up in a rich family, this is the only way that you can be rich is by either being born into a family that's already wealthy, as if you don't have any control over your own life, as if you don't have any decisions that you can make for yourself to become wealthy. With all due respect, money is the energy just like anything else, and you'll be able to have those things when you become those things. We're going to go deeper into that as well, just helping you to understand that whatever it is that you want to see, you have to first be. Remember, everything is consciousness, everything is energy. So when you are seeking an opportunity, or you, let's say you want a new car, you have to become that vehicle. Become that. Know that you are a part of that vehicle already. Know that you are a part of all that is. And at any given time, you can become what it is that you desire. And by you, becoming what it is that you desire, becoming the energetic vibration of that, you begin to pull that to you. And that's on it. I don't want to get into too deep because I don't want to tell you guys everything. You guys will be so excited about tomorrow. So I don't want to give you guys too much. But I will say that as an author, I am known for the infamous self-improvement guide. Get your life together. Yes, Get Your Life Together is a phenomenal book. Not because I wrote it, but really just because it is really helping people see their lives in a different way. It is helping people to really understand who they are, how to take their power back. Because a lot of times, we don't even realize how we give our power away, and that is one of the ways that we keep ourselves stuck and away from living a life where we are set free. We have the ability at any time to choose to be free, but we tend to go into these locked feelings and emotions and things like that. And I talk about that in the book. In the book, I have the first topic is change. And change basically breaks down for everyone how you have to be willing to make a change. I mean, you have to be willing to, take leaps and bounds and try something different. Because that very thing you fear when it comes to change is what's blocking you from seeing the life that you were actually designed to live. You can't see that unless you make some changes. That means some things are going to have to get cut off. Some people are going to have to get cut off. Some places are gonna have to get cut off, and some of your nasty behind habits will have to get cut off too. Trust me, it wasn't. I ain't gonna say it wasn't easy for me because I just really just made up my mind that I wasn't dealing with those things anymore, and then I just stopped. Like, okay, I can't continue to have these thoughts, or I can't continue to be around these people, or I can't continue to hang around these places, And I do see that when you release those things, you actually make room for greater things to come in and replace it. But until you actually let go of the things that no longer serve you, then, that is really the only point when you'll be able to, attract in what it is that, your heart really desires. So another one of my books is Wisdom Words of Consciousness. So Wisdom Words of Consciousness is more of a quotation book, somewhat positive, inspirational passages, things that reality check you when you know that you've fallen off and you just kind of need to read something to help bring you back to life. You want to open up this book, and I'm pretty sure that there's always a passage or something there that will, bring you back to your right mind, to your proper level of understanding. Like, that's right. That's why I shouldn't be doing this. This is why I don't need to settle for less. This is why I deserve so much more. All of that, all of those wonderful things. So, and then also in the book Wisdom Words of Consciousness, I teach you about affirmations. I teach you about manifestation, creative visualization, the power of positive thinking, just so many different things, that are in the Wisdom Words of Consciousness book as well. Then there's the ebook that if you sign up on my website right now, you can get that free. And the ebook is Stop, 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 Stop. Don't shatter your dreams. And the reason why it's called Stop, Don't Shatter Your Dreams is because a lot of times when we are building our dream, or we feel that this is something that we desire or something that we want to do, what ends up happening is we end up sabotaging it before it even comes into creation. And how do we do that? In our mind, we begin to just start having all these crazy thoughts. The moment that you start working on your new song, or the moment that you start working on your new book, or whatever it is that you're creating, instantly there's that voice that comes in and says, nobody not gonna purchase your records. Don't nobody care about your song. Don't nobody care about reading no positive information. Don't nobody care about this, that, and that. But that's so not true. I promise you, what I've learned on my journey, and I was just having this conversation with one of my little, I call him my little brother, Mackie Lee, and my niece, about, they were just talking about like my previous life before the whole Minds Up thing, and they were just like, what Mackie was saying was, we need you, TK. Like, the music industry really, really needs you. You gotta get back out there. You're gonna put Jersey back on the map, blah 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 blah. But that is so like not my life anymore. I'm just not even interested. Like, really. I'm not saying that I'm not interested in doing music anymore. That would be false. But I'm just not really interested in entertaining that aspect of music that I used to entertain. I know the damage that it causes. I know how misleading it is. I know it was fun. I know I'm a phenomenal performer. All glory be to God for that. And I'm still a wonderful performer, and I still put out great records. But I do want to stay away from, those things that don't help people become greater than what they are. So what I was getting at is that what I found on my journey is that I won't ever like go back. People say never, but I'm not interested in going back, because I feel like what has happened to me is my vibration has raised so high that I attract people now who rock with me from a higher perspective of things. So like, they were saying like, oh, they need you. But my whole thing is, they may need me, but there's a whole bunch of people who are on a much higher vibration and a higher scale of things that also need me, and they will remember me. Like, for me, I could get on stage and I can sing a song. Yes, I could sing a song all day. But when I get off stage, those people don't think about that song anymore. Unless they got the CD, they might pop it in and sing or whatever. But for me, it's like, when I'm teaching at a seminar, or I'm writing a book, or they're reading my book, these are jewels that will stick with them for life, for life. So I have an opportunity to actually change somebody's life in that moment that I'm on stage speaking to them and talking to them about transforming their life, and talking to them about rewiring their brain, helping them to understand why they're stuck, helping them to see how their mind even end up in this whole conditioning phase by the things that they see on television, by the programming, from media, the news, their music videos, and just a whole lot of different things that play a big part as to why they're in the situation that they're in. And some of the situations seem helpless or hopeless, but really they're not. It takes someone like me that has been through that before, who's already experienced that, to come in and say, hey, listen, I used to sing songs with some not so nice titles. However, I had some really great records that had really good titles as well, that still taught people things, or made people remember what it's like to be in love, or just whatever. But in any case, the point that I'm making, I think for me, I'm more moved at this point by being a powerful, positive impact in people's lives. And I am meeting millionaires, trillionaires. I am connecting with these people who can bring me to a higher place, because their vibration is so high, then my vibration becomes high, and then like attracts alike. So, hey, if you want to be a millionaire, you have to surround yourself around them. Figure out what it is that they're doing. If millionaires don't care about sharing, they don't care about giving you the tools that they use to get there. It's people who are on a lower vibration that feel like it's every man for themselves. So they feel like, oh no, I'm not going to tell them how I got on. I'm not going to tell them how I did this. I'm not going to tell, because they want the spotlight, but that's actually ego. The ego self, it desires the spotlight. And so it does things that makes you believe that it's you who's doing it, which is a whole nother topic. But anyway, um, that's that. I don't just like babbling on. But and then the latest one that will be coming out really shortly is called Snap Out of It. Snap out of it. Sometimes you have to snap out of it, you know? And how do you snap out of it? There's a lot of different things that people are not aware of. You know, there's a lot of things that people don't know as to why their life looks the way that it looks. And snap out of it is going to tell them the truth. It's going to talk about the pain body, why people can't stop watching horror movies or movies with guns and violence and all of that stuff. It's just going to break all of that down so you'll have a better understanding of who you are, what's inside of you that controls a lot of what's going on around you. And just, just so many different things that it's going to help you out with, you know. So as a speaker, I produce and I host seminars that offer life-changing experiences. And the life-changing experiences that they offer is basically helping people find a solution to their problems rather than just talking about problems that everybody's going to go through something. I don't see anything as a problem. I see everything as an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to do something greater, you know, because ultimately that's what it's about. You know, it's about you expanding your consciousness and understanding who you are in order to be able to live, you know, a greater life. So, um, all right, gosh, well, I don't know. It's like I'm trying to debate. Do I want to give you guys a little bit of what we're going to talk about tomorrow, or whatever, to 17? But I guess what I will do is I will review at least one. And the first thing that I will review with you guys in regards to setting your life free would be to you must take responsibility for your own feelings and emotions. You must take responsibility for your own feelings and emotions. And you can't allow other people to blame you for how they feel. And the reason I say that is because it's easy to point and say, oh, I feel like this because you did this, or oh, you made me feel like that, or whatever the case may be. In all actuality, both parties chose to feel that emotion. To a certain extent, yeah, you want to feel that emotion so that you can get it up and out. Because if you suppress it and you keep it down, another opportunity will come up for it to come up because you never got rid of it in the first place, and then it would just blow up bigger, and you can end up blowing up on somebody who didn't even have nothing to do with it, you know. So I'm not gonna say don't feel the emotion at all, but I will say learn how to be in control of the emotions that you do feel and choose your emotions wisely. You know, one thing that people have to learn is how to respond rather than react, and how to stop blaming everybody else for your stuff. You know, at the end of the day, we're all spiritual beings. We're all having this human experience, even though we've been taught the opposite, that we're human beings. And every time it's just something that seems mystical or spooky or whatever, um, it ends up, uh, people become fearful of those things. So, um, I think one of one of the important things that I wanted people to know in regards to taking responsibility for your own feelings and emotions is to remember that we all grew up in different places. We all come from different environments, different family backgrounds. We have different histories. We've experienced different people and relationships. Our parents are different, and depending on the mindset of the people that we grew up around, play a big part in the mindset of the people that you meet and you interact with every day. So just because somebody doesn't handle things the way that you would, and this is something that I had to check myself for a while because um, I'm a very calm, humble person. I'm not the type of person to go off and be very argumentative. Someone does something to me, I observe it. I observe the situation, I analyze what's going on, and then I make a sound decision in myself how I'm going to handle that. That person may not hear anything from me. They may speak to me the next day and just not even know, like, that I felt some kind of way about a certain thing because ultimately it's my decision to continue to feel some kind of way about it, or it's my decision to say, you know, that was their action, that is what they chose to do. I'm pretty sure they knew that I wouldn't be happy with what they did. So, do I allow myself to be drawn into what it is that they're putting out? Or do I remember who I am and stay in my own power and allow them to be responsible for their actions and me to be responsible for my response rather than reacting, you know? Um, So regardless, what happens is because we all grew up from these different backgrounds and different um, environments and things of that nature, everybody has their own mind as to how they handle things. Something that may bother someone else probably won't bother me. And then something that may bother me may not bother someone else. Or they may have thought that I wouldn't be bothered by it. A lot of people see me as a really strong person, so it's like, oh, Takiyah, she can handle it. But I tell people like, it's not that I don't feel because I do feel. I am an emotional person to a certain extent, but I don't allow my emotions to control me. I control the emotions that I feel because ultimately, in this particular life, it's my experience. I'm choosing this particular, thing that I'm experiencing at this moment. But I say all of that to say that, the objective is for all of us to feel good, no matter what it is that we're going through or growing through in this particular experience. Because remember, we don't go through anything, we go through it. We grow through it because we're supposed to learn from that experience to either help someone else get through it or to prevent them from going through it because we've been through it already. And so we become an asset to their life by, helping them understand who they are and how to get past that particular experience that they might be facing at that time. Um, so I forgot what I was going to say. So I say the main thing is when you try to remember that everybody grew up from different places and stuff like that, because everybody is not the same, you really don't know what that person experienced in their life that triggers that thing that makes them go off on you or that makes them uh, go into this deep depression or sadness, because you don't know what their full story is. We can't judge them. You just have to come from a place of compassion, come from a place of love, like, wow, I don't know what it is that that person experienced that makes them feel that way, but I actually feel sorry for them that they're experiencing that. Because even in relationships, you know what I mean? Like, there's sometimes you have exes or current people that you interact with or things of that nature, and they're going through different experiences like in their own life, and you're wondering like, okay, why is this person acting this way or whatever the case may be. But I've learned that you won't always be able to figure out why they act that way. They only going to tell you what they want you to know about their history. So they could tell you all these great things, or they could tell you all these bad things, but is it the truth? If you weren't really there, you don't know whether it's the truth or not. They could be sugarcoating it, or they could be over exaggerating it, or they could be being honest about what they've experienced. So it's really for you to just kind of like come from a place of compassion and understand that everybody didn't grow up the way that you did. Everybody didn't have the life that you did. So not everybody's going to react the same way that you do to things. So this is why it's important to just take responsibility for your own emotions, for your own feelings, and just remain in your own power. One thing I will say is that every time you play victim, like, oh my God, they did this, they did that, they did this to me, whatever. You put yourself in a black hole, and you put yourself in this hole that actually creates blocks from you experiencing moments that make you feel better. You know what I mean? That puts you in a better place, in a better position to where you can experience joy, to where you can experience happiness. The opposite of whatever it is that you're feeling is always available, no matter what. It's always available. So, it's very important that you just be mindful, be mindful of what you're considering yourself to be a victim of. You think that you may have experienced the worst thing in the world. For you, it may be the worst thing in the world, but somebody else has experienced something even worse. So, what may be bad to you is actually light to someone else who experienced something even harder, you know what I mean, that may have crushed them in some way. So it's no reason to play victim. I have a pamphlet that's out and about around the world called Victorize, Not Victimize. I got a few of them out, so I have to try to remember the title. But it's called Victorize, ultimately, we have a choice to be the victor or the victim. Now, are you going to allow your circumstances to control your victory? Why would you allow an outside thing to control what is going on inside of you? Most of the things that happen outside of us, we really don't have any control over, and especially other people's behaviors towards us. We have literally no control over how someone else chooses to act or react to something that we do or something that they do. We could only control and be responsible for ourselves, and that's a really, really important thing. So I definitely, put out there that sometimes we have to step outside of that victim mode and put yourself in the other person's shoes. It might be a little uncomfortable. It may not even be your shoe size. But when you put yourself in the other person's shoes and you kind of look at it from their perspective or their picture, then sometimes you can kind of come from a better understanding as to why they feel what they feel, or even beginning to understand why they're experiencing what they're experiencing as well. And mainly it's because of the thought patterns, the repeat thought patterns that they're consistently replaying in their mind of those past experiences that cause them to feel like a victim. So whenever you feel like a victim, or everything is just victim, 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 you create more circumstances to come to you that make you feel like you're a victim, you know? So if you experience a victimized situation, now you go to work and your boss starts picking on you, or you feel like your boss is picking on you. The boss could just be trying to tell you something for your own good, but because you already have it mapped out in your mind that you're a victim and everybody's against you, you're going to feel like you're being victimized. And then that's really just the bottom line. But that's why it's important that you remember that everything you go through in life is just an experience. It's just a part of this game called life. You know what I'm saying? It's just a part of part of the piece of the puzzle. So, you know, you just gotta kind of let it be and just know that you always have an opportunity to choose to be victorious or to choose to be victimized. But you're never a victim unless you choose to be one. So always just step out and what did I learn from that situation? What could I have learned from that situation? Even for somebody who is a very victimy person, what can I learn from them? Because typically, theoretically speaking, in some way, we are all a reflection of each other. So when we see our brothers and sisters doing things that so called ain't right, we have to kind of remember we're all from one source. We're all one. We're broken off into pieces and we live in this game called separation, which is a whole nother lane to be talking about. And I don't know, this is the reason why you guys have to really get the book so you can be up to speed with like where I'm going. Because I don't want to, with doing these things, I don't want to feel like I'm going backwards to where I have to go like too deep back in order to catch you guys up because it's kind of like a vibration sucker to kind of go into those topics that have like the lower energies, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, um, but that's that. So, tomorrow we'll talk about some of the verbiage that we utilize that keep us in that victim state. Like, you know, oh, bad things always happen to me. Oh, it's not meant for me to be wealthy. Oh, every time I do something good, something bad always happens. Blah, 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 blah. Just all these sabotaging lies, beliefs, and thoughts, and just things that ruin your life, that don't set you free. They keep you in bondage. That's what they do. So, we'll get more into that tomorrow. Um, okay. Yeah, I don't want to go too deep because I have a lot of stuff here. So we're gonna definitely do this seminar. Well, not the seminar, but the 7 keys, like in steps. And I'm thinking what I probably do is like 7 separate days for each thing. So I'm still trying to put it in my mind how I intend to do that because I would like for these to really just kind of be like 30 minutes, get on, get off so that they could be, put out there to where everybody can see them and all that wonderful stuff and get the information, whatever it may be. But yeah, so that's that for now. We're going to talk about lightening your load. Also, just knowing that it's okay to be concerned, but to be consumed with other people's stuff, that's not cool. We're not here to be consumed with other people's stuff. I'm not saying that you're not supposed to help people. Yes, you're supposed to help people, but it's one thing to help somebody, and it's a whole other thing to be a crutch where people are just consistently dependent on you. You can't fly, you can't soar if you got a whole lot of baggage. How can you do it? You weighing yourself down. You know what I mean? So a part of letting go and being free and freeing up your life is freeing yourself from other people's garbage. So I know it's deep. So we're gonna go deeper, but I just want to thank you guys for stopping in, and chilling out with me or whatever. And I appreciate you. I love you. I'm grateful that you guys are here. And you know, check back with me tomorrow. We're gonna go deeper. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna have some high energy. High energy. And I love you. I love you. Mind's up, y'all. It's your girl, Takiyah Diamond. I appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. And I'm going to head on over to Blog Talk Radio and get a show started over there, and get this same topic popping over there. So you can always follow me over to Blog Talk Radio. Deuces, it's Minds Up Radio on Blog Talk Radio. You can Google it and just type up Minds Up Radio Show, Takiyah Diamond. and it should come up, and you can actually just listen in to the full broadcast. Okay. All right. So one love. I love you, my